This is Keep the Faith Ministry News. I'm Hal Mayer. Peter Thiel is building a panic room in his New Zealand property. He is part of a growing number of American millionaires choosing New Zealand as their doomsday destination. They fear many things, from a public backlash over Silicon Valley's artificial intelligence taking away jobs and international cyber attacks, to pandemics and political instability. It emerged that the billionaire venture capitalist and co-founder of PayPal was granted New Zealand citizenship in 2011. Thiel visited the country just 3 times for a grand total of 12 days before his citizenship was granted. New Zealand citizenship rules normally require an applicant to be a permanent resident for 1,350 days in the 5 years preceding an application. During his few visits, he met 4 senior members of the cabinet, including the Prime Minister. Following public backlash, authorities who oversaw the citizenship defended their decision to give Thiel citizenship by saying that he had been a great ambassador and salesperson for the country. According to the New York Times, Thiel wrote in his application, "I'm happy to say categorically that I have found no other country that aligns more with my view of the future than New Zealand." One wonders what he means by that, considering his purpose in pursuing the citizenship in the first place. He told Business Insider in 2011 he found utopia in New Zealand and already had 2 noteworthy venture investments in Xero and in Pacific Fiber. Despite saying that he had no plans to reside in New Zealand after gaining citizenship and that he'd rather be an enthusiastic supporter of the country, the billionaire went on to make a number of real estate purchases. In 2011, he bought a 4-bedroom home in Queenstown for $4.8 million. In 2015, he bought a 193-acre block in Wanaka for $13.5 million. He did not need to follow foreign buyers' rules for the sales because he was a citizen. And while the land from the second purchase still remains undeveloped, it's Thiel's Queenstown property that is most intriguing. After suffering a serious fire last year, causing more than New Zealand $500,000 in damage, Thiel used the opportunity to repurpose a walk-in closet into a panic room. The new design is laid out in building consents for the repairs filed with the Queenstown Lakes District Council. There have been numerous reports over the years about some of America's wealthiest people buying property in New Zealand, so they have somewhere to flee in the event of a global catastrophe. Buying a house in New Zealand has become a sort of code for getting apocalypse insurance, as Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, put it. Saying that you're buying a house in New Zealand is kind of a wink-wink, say no more, he said. Once you've done the Masonic handshake, they will be like, oh, you know, I have a broker who sells old ICBM silos, and they're nuclear hardened, and they kind of look like they would be interesting to live in. While some have previously pointed to New Zealand as Thiel's backup country, he has not ever confirmed it. This latest development, however, sure looks like he's preparing his doomsday bunker for Armageddon. Peter Thiel isn't a student of Bible prophecy, and he doesn't realize that the doomsday predicted in the Bible is not going to be something to be escaped. Sometimes the children of this world, however, are wiser than the children of light. Thiel is getting his country property in New Zealand all prepared for the end times, even though he doesn't realize, or perhaps even believe, that we are nearing the close of probation. He's just looking at it from a political and social point of view. And while God's people don't need to go to the extremes that Thiel is going to, they should follow the counsel of the Lord to get out of the cities. New Zealand is an island at the start of the Ring of Fire where earthquakes are very prominent. He will not be safe from the true apocalypse in New Zealand, when the Bible predicts that every island shall disappear. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. Luke 21, 5-7. This is Keep the Faith Ministry News. Thank you for watching.